If not autopilot, we are all dead by that. You can never be hearing of IPOB again, if not for autopilot. Because God took our leader out, and there's another one somewhere hiding. They are all mad about that now. But Nigerians is just a pity. We, like the last caller said, they are all under a spell. This one will shock Nigerians. This one will shock Nigerians and obedience. Those who want to have an appointment from Peter Obi, they'll be shocked. Obi will tell them very soon.
He's going to eventually tell them to, I'm dropping it. That's loud.
I'm dropping it. I don't want to holler.
Yeah, we're going to keep it here. A lot of us hear this tonight, and so that when it happens, we won't be like, oh my God, you know?
Yes.
I'm going to say
it's an expo.
You know what I'm going to say, right?
Yeah.
You know you have just poked the bear now.
Yeah.
Some other people are going to call in, and they're going to respond to what you just said. So I hope.
All right. Obedience. You all should listen. Obedience. You all should listen. We say it long time ago. Boycott election. Nigeria is
Nigeria, unfortunately. Baba, thanks a lot. Let me take another call. Okay.
Okay, my good night. Good night. Good night.
Thanks a lot. So that is an autopilot there from the IPOB, who came all out gun blazing, especially towards you, the obedient. Anyway, the line is still very much opened. Okay, and I hope I know that's my thoughts. Okay, I remember I used to say, can we all please just take it cool, whether as long as you are not with this one Nigeria nonsense kind of thing, right? That whatever our differences are here, we should respect our own diverse differences. But I didn't caution him. I know, but I can caution you and tell you that listen, don't turn it into the rough fight episode of Unagod. Punch yourself, shadow boxing on here. Calm down. Okay? At least I have another caller here. Hello there.
Hey, Mr. Mayego.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm always a lucky man. Whenever I play my coupon, I win raffle getting you online.
Well, you just did now anyway. So how are you, sir?
I'm well, thank you. I've been listening, even though I came in late. It's been an interesting topic you hear in your programs most times.
Thank
you. You know, I want to encourage your heart. You just have to keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Put your eyes on the ball.
I will. Always.
Nigeria is rotten. Nigeria is beyond redemption. No matter, even if it's not blasphemy, it's not blasphemy. Let Christians not crucify me. If you bring the holiest person to Nigeria, it will turn the person to a demon incarnate, 100%. This thing you see that Bola Tinubu is doing should be a lesson to any right-thinking human being who wants to live a normal life. That is why foreign countries are better. You know, people do things normally, not abnormal.
No.
In Nigeria, there's a lot of abnormalities, from presidency to Senate to House of Rep to state governors to local government. Down the ladder, there's abnormality everywhere. Everywhere stinks to high heaven. I'm telling you the gospel truth.
Sadly so, sir. I agree.
Now, Bola Tinubu, when he was growing up, he never knew. How can you, everywhere you go, your ass smells. Everywhere you go, your ass smells. You know what these people did? The only time Nigeria has had concerned politicians was in 1979. After 1983, the rest of people that came into politics were all thieves. They just used politics to cover all the atrocities. Take, for instance, even the guy in Imo State, who they said was one time an armed robber, the Hope Uzodinma.
No. Popular
he was an armed robber. 419 now, and he's a state governor, coming brandishing all sorts of things against his people in Imo State.
Sir,
so
have you seen
my
the
candid
new report
advice
on him? By the way, sorry to cut you there, right? Have you seen the new report on him that Imo State? There is this UK organization that just released a report I'm still studying it. That's why I haven't spoken on it. But the part I have seen, sir, it has now come out that they recruited. You see that Ibubiagu that they recruited? Yes. It was in collaboration with the federal government of Nigeria. And now it has come out that indeed, this, I mean, as we have been saying all this way, that they have been using that Ibubiagu when they were so active to hunt down and kill young men in Igbo land. I remember I used to say,
and Britain is responsible for this.
Just came out now, officially now.
You see? Now, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? The best thing is, I even want to tell every Igbo man, every Yoruba thinking person, the earlier Nigeria splits, the better for it. Anybody who's trying to patch Nigeria, anybody who's thinking that he can patch Nigeria, the thing will continue to leak. And leak beyond the point where there will be no redemption. The bottom line is, for those who are growing up, Bola Tinubu's case is a case study.
It is.
Whatever you are doing, you think, look ahead. You don't know where you're going to be tomorrow. How can you, all the documents you've been presenting all the years, different stages of your life, is filled with things, and you've been a state governor for 8 years. Oh my God, who did this to us? So it's an advice. What I can advise anybody, if you want to live a normal life, that's what I normally say every time. If you want to live a normal and healthy life, keep your hands clean.
God bless you.
There is nothing in this world that will not end in this world. Yes, you can get all the riches and get all the money. But after the money, do you have happiness? Go and ask Bola Tinubu if he's sincere to himself. He will do everything humanly possible to retain the power that he stole. He will eat the ass of Oyibo people. He will eat their ass to be able to gain recognition globally, but it's not going to work for him. If he succeeds, he will be rubbishing all of us, including me, who claim to be a Nigerian. Let me tell you, before let me hand over the mic.
Yes, sir.
I'm ashamed. Forget about whether you have American passport, you have British passport. As long as your root is from Nigeria or from Africa, anything anybody is doing to you in a foreign land, they will still see you as an African.
That's right.
So the earlier we try to carve a niche for ourselves as Africans and make our homeland better by beginning with ourselves, the better for each and every one of us. Nigeria has raised thieves, even those who are overseas. Some of them was past.
I mean,
they wait for opportunity. They're waiting for their own opportunity to reach.
That's right.
That's just all. Insincerity everywhere, deception everywhere. The thing stinks. Nigeria stinks, and the thing is making me sick. Sometimes when I listen to your program, I just shake my head. I wish you had the magic wand, but
I wish too. Sometimes when I kind of, they say, sometimes they say to us and say that we should. I mean, it is better we don't know. Sometimes when they tell you that, you know what?
Exactly.
It is better you don't know. What's all about is better you don't know. Because if you do, honestly speaking, we don't know how you're going to handle it. And that's exactly what has happened to a lot of us who have known now. And it is so heartbreaking seeing that there is actually no end in sight. You know that, sir?
No, it's not. There is not anybody who will tell you that it's deceiving you.
That breaks heart.
Honestly, it's sickening. It's really, the earlier the young people sit together to split this nation, the better. Look at African countries like Niger, Mali. People are rejoicing. We need to create a niche for ourselves, have a better Africa, where people could go back home. And all this, we have everything it takes, man. We have everything it takes. Who did this leadership, corruption, and everything to us? Because we cannot take our stand and say enough is enough. God bless Mrs. Arikana. That woman, God will bless her.
Amen. Thank you.
God will bless that woman. That woman, God will bless her.
Amen.
I remember 2 years back when that woman was speaking, I listened to her. I said, this prophecy that this woman is giving, it will rise up one day. and it has started. The revolution has started. It will never end. Nigeria will definitely break, whether anybody believes it or not. We can't continue like this.
You know,
you see, we can't. We are humans.
there is
We're
no
not
way.
animals.
There is no way
Anybody wants to be an animal
like
to remain in Nigeria.
And Nigeria will still exist. It doesn't work that way.
Yes.
No way. This is not right. You know? Thank you very much.
My brother,
sir.
I raise my hand up for you. God bless you and stay focused. Okay? Put your eyes on the ball.
Yes,
don't be discouraged.
I won't.
All right, bye-bye.
And thanks a lot for that too. Yeah, thanks a lot. So, like he just postulated right now. Yeah, sometimes it's something you feel like, especially if you know there is no end in sight. In fact, these guys are just like recycling themselves, replacing themselves, and grooming thieves upon thieves. And like he also said, even those who live abroad and then returning back to Nigeria, they ended up being even worse. I mean, what would you say of all of these politicians, all of these abroadian returning politicians who have lived in the UK for years? They have lived in America for years. They have lived all over the world for years. But when they get back to Nigeria, they just blend in and continue to promote that poverty mentality, poverty spreading their policies, and all the corruption that you would think should be alien to them since they have been outside Nigeria for years. And that's why when people tell you Nigeria cannot be helped, it's not because they don't want to see a Nigeria that is working, but it's because they know it will remain in your dreams. It is not going to happen. Not with these guys, not with this system. I mean, and I believe people like that because it may be tough, hard to accept, but it is true. It is. The rest of the world is moving on. Nigeria, it's even worse than stagnant anyway. Hello there.
Sorry, I called earlier, but I just want to add something to what the man that talked about obedience. There is a caller that talked about the obedient people.
Yes. But I wasn't expecting you to be the one to call back, but lucky you. Others are still queuing. So make it quick then. Quick one. Sir.
See, okay. Please, let's give kudos to the Gen Z and these obedient people. They have done what no one can ever imagine. Okay? So now what the only trick they don't know, they didn't know, or probably they know, or maybe they just did. The consequence is that they told us to go and get PVC. Is it PVC or PCP, whatever PVC, that name is, PVC. The card. They went ahead diligently. They said, if you are complaining that Nigeria is bad, Nigeria is this, if you are not satisfied, stop complaining, go and get your PVC. They did exactly as they were told. And they chased out, kicked out their houses. In fact, not in thousands, in millions.
In millions.
The retired most of these politicians.
They fought a good fight.
Okay, they retired them. They fought a good fight. Yes. So don't let us call them. I don't remember if that man said something about obedience or something, but
yeah, it was.
Don't let us call them any names.
Kind of provocative.
Don't let us call them any names.
Wanted them to react.
Yeah. No. Don't let us do that because they've done, like my father always said, what a Napoleon could ever do in human history. They've done it. So let's give kudos to them, regardless the consequence. The outcome or whatever that happened. I watched Tinubu speaking earlier at that NBA. I said, this is just like somebody stealing somebody's destiny. Because Obi is supposed to be the one doing that. So, like I said, I'm not obedient. I don't believe in Nigeria. I do know
There's nothing wrong in acknowledging their achievement. We all saw it.
But let us give it to them.
Expected them to put that off, but they did.
Yes.
So we can give them their flowers without having to kind of say, even if we don't agree with them.
Yes. Let us give it to them. And let everybody write it down today. They said affliction doesn't rise second time. In case of Nigeria, affliction will rise again. In fact, not even second time. Because it is in Bible that affliction battle will never rise again. It will rise again. And by the time that snake raises its ugly head,
We'll live to tell the story. Baba, I'll take another one.
Yeah.
Because of our time, right?
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for being the mediator. Coming back to tell our guys to please now give them their own card, give them their flowers, even if you believe that they shouldn't have been part of that. I also campaigned against election. You remember? Because I was like, it's gonna be that they are gonna go there and validate these guys. They're gonna they're gonna rig them out, but they still dare them anyway. And with that kind of, they traumatized the power that be. So it won't make any sense if we kind of feel like trashing them. I'm like, you see, and all that. But I'll leave that to this caller too. Hello.
Hi there, Mayor Quinn.
Hello, sir. How you doing?
I'm good, and yourself?
Well, very well. Thank you.
This is Efe calling from London.
Efe from London.
Yeah, I normally watch your show all the time.
How you doing, Baba? Yes, thank you. Please.
No. This is my first time calling in. I just wanted to contribute from what the last caller said.
Thank you.
I understand the concept of what he's saying that Peter will be, because obviously he comes across as a more learned man and a man that's not really wanting to fight and stuff like that. So we understand from that perspective that, yeah, even if he does back down, but Peter Obi has opened a lot of Nigerians their eyes to a lot of things. So for that, we must give him credibility, right, and we'll stand with that. We're not going to look at the fact that you see a man's capacity. You have to look at his doings and the things that he brought to you. Not you have to look at and see his capacity. We'll judge him from his capacity. If you look at the president of, let's say, Burkina Faso at the moment, that Traore guy, he's a military man. So we do not expect him to back down from a fight. Do you get where I'm coming from?
I do.
But a man is not coming from such a background. And a man like Tinubu and Obi, if you look at the kind of trajectory of where they're coming from, right, their path differs. One of them is a hardcore criminal.
Right.
The other one is not. His reputation speaks for himself. So he's not, I don't see Obi going to put the life of any Nigerian that he's coming to try to help in a position where it would be detrimental to their health. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
I do, and I kind of believe that too. Go on.
So I see Tinubu doing that. If you take the case of Jonathan stood out of place. Every Nigerian that's learned enough to understand that Jonathan came off so that Buhari can be in power. Jonathan, we all know Jonathan has a better capacity to run Nigeria than Buhari. Absolutely. But what did he do? He stood down so Buhari can go over there, because at the end of the day, if they're threatening to kill 10 or 20,000 Nigerians, what is a political sit compared to those lives? A man with integrity would see that. Those who have the best interest for Nigerians will see that.
So right. That is.
But those who do not can never ever bring themselves to the understanding to think on that frequency and understand that the life of one Nigerian matters.
Empathy,
nobody,
leadership.
I'm a 32-year-old man. If I ever get the chance to speak on Nigerian TV, I do not mind if my life ends that day, but I'll tell each and every leader in that country, they do not represent us.
No, they don't.
None of them do. They have never represented us since we gained independence to today. They have never, ever represented us. And if Nigerians are smart, which I do not blame Nigerians, because statistically speaking, they told us that there's more than 200 million of us plus, right? If you do statistics speaking, in Nigeria, out of that 200 million people, how many Nigerians have seen an airport?
That's a big one.
How many Nigerians have got into an airplane to fly out of the country?
Even to the West African countries, even though they have West African passports, right? How many have actually, or how many could afford?
Many have actually legally ventured out of Nigeria? Do you understand?
I do. So,
we that live in Europe, I can go to Spain tomorrow and come back to England when I'm ready. Like Sweden is 2 hours away. It's about 120 pounds or 80 pounds, depending on the time. We'll book a ticket. We'll fly to Sweden 2 hours or back in England, right?
That's right, man.
I don't need to stay there because I've got my life in England here. Because it works. Every person feels the need to run away from Nigeria. Why? Because they're escaping something. And each and every Nigerian, learned Nigerian, should understand and try to see what the people that look like them is running away from in their country. Because you cannot be escaping your country if it is safe for you there. Why would I go to the Mediterranean? Why would I go and put my life in danger from my own home, where your home is meant to be your castle? That's where your protection is meant to come from. It makes no sense that we put our life in danger to get to another man's home.
Doesn't make any sense. Makes no sense.
Nah, man, we need to do better as Nigerians.
Do you remember? Did you see that my program where I was like, dear old people, right? I was like, what exactly would you say you are leaving behind for us that we owe you an hell of gratitude? What would you say? Okay. The future you've ruined? The life that is kind of uncertain? What exactly would you say, sir?
Nigerian leaders do not classify Nigerians as citizens. What's his name? Dele Farotimi said it very well. Mm-hmm. Me, I'm a Robo man, Delta man. I do not believe in the concept of one Nigeria because let's all be real. It's never going to work. No. Yeah, because the moment I go to the north of Nigeria, I need to be a different Nigerian. How does that even make sense? How does that make any logical sense in any thinking rational place? It's like I'm in England, but when I come to Scotland, I need to be no. We all govern by this. Do you understand? No, unless I'm breaking the rules then there needs to be an issue. You understand? But then I don't need to behave a different way or act as a whole different person because I'm in a different side of Nigeria. How do you comprehend that?
Like nobody has been able to explain that to us. They just told us to get used to it. They'll tell you, don't try that in the north, or don't try that in the east, or don't try that in the west. They just keep telling us, don't try this here, and here. And at the same time, they said you can be anywhere and everywhere as a Nigerian. You can be anything and everything in any part of Nigeria, which is not true. That is not true.
Any Nigerian should be ashamed to even associate themselves as a Nigerian. Because in a zoo, like Nnamdi Kanu said, in a zoo, I can go to England here, the zoo, the animals, they have 24-hour lights. If anything happens to any one of those animals, there's medics on standby to deal with those animals, and they're fed well. And we even pay to see them.
And that's why they said that calling Nigeria zoo is an insult to the zoo, because zoo is organized.
It's true.
Nigeria is not.
Nigeria is not even good enough to be called a zoo. And that's what I'm saying. Any learned person sitting in Nigeria and still proudly saying, I'm a Nigerian, you are worse than entered. You've lost all hope of.
I know.
Anyway, bro. And next time I call Mayogun, I will speak broken English so I can talk to people who don't understand the English why they speak.
That will be great, right? Thank you so much for even making it.
And I'm ready. Don't worry, I'll be calling every time now, Mayogun.
Thank you. Ife. That's Ife calling from London there. And I have another caller, which I believe is also from England. Hello there.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. You're doing a great job. I'm a first caller calling from London.
A first caller too, first time caller. Your name, if you don't mind. Sorry.
My name is Ego.
So did you say Easy Go?
It's no Ego.
Oh, it's Ego. Okay, I'll stick to that. Ego. So how are you doing, Baba?
I'm doing well. I've been listening to you now for a few months, and I wanted to call, but today I just felt the urge to. I've been in this country now for about 23 years. Wow. And I have two children, one 8, one 9. I've never taken them to Nigeria before. I go back to Nigeria, but when I see the state of it, I can't bring myself to think, what am I going to say when my children start asking me questions? Things like if we're in a car on the road in Lagos and their children are coming to the side of the road to beg you for money, I know they're going to ask me, Daddy, why is this child in the middle of the street asking for money? What will I say? What will I tell them? They are brainwashed in this country to feel inferior already. They don't teach them about Africa. They show negative things. I don't want to take them back to reinforce that. Right now, I've painted a great picture, but it's a fantasy that I've painted about Africa. It's a fantasy. And when Peter Obi came on, I had this hope that at least within a year, we'll start seeing progress once it gets in there. Or even if not him, someone else will be scared. Yeah, so I was getting very hopeful, and when this criminal managed to wield and snatch it, I just my children, because I watch you every day, so they are watching and they're getting the information bit by bit. They're asking, who is this person, this Tinubu? They're asking me questions, 8 and 9. I tell them, I said, he's the president, but he's a criminal and he stole the presidency. They're like, how do you do that? I said, it's in court now, but he cheated. So that's not good. I said, no, it's not good.
It's not good.
I haven't taken them back. And I feel like I'm in exile sometimes. I go back to Nigeria, but I feel like I'm in exile. Because you can have a citizenship, you can say that's not your country, but nothing works.
You know what people don't understand, Ego, is that usually when we left Nigeria, whether for education, whether for economic reason or any other reason that we had this dream, right? That one day I'm going to bring all the goodies of this country. I'm going to take them back to my people. We always have that dream, right?
Yeah.
But over time, that kind of ocean of dream of going abroad, making it and come back, this and that, the ocean is drying every year. And a lot of people back in Nigeria don't understand this. You see, we have people who have been outside Nigeria for years. In their plan, first 10, 20 years, I'm going to kind of return back home. A lot of people plan to return back to Nigeria with all they have been blessed with, including their family, right? A lot of them have now kind of reconsidering. No, if I want to go, I'll just go by myself. Or I'm not going to take my investment back to that place to get ruined. And this on its own has its own psychological sort of impact on a lot of us, especially those who are already in their 50s, 60s, who have been away from Nigeria for 20, 30 years. This bad government, this bad leadership has made a lot of them to decide to stay back, even though that wasn't their plan when they left Nigeria. But these guys don't understand that. They don't.
No, they don't. And there's one more thing I'll say is civil disobedience. It has to get to a point where these people can't walk freely around us anymore. Every country that has had a revolution, it starts with just the man on the street, not acknowledging them, not serving them, not allowing them into your establishment, not admitting their children into your schools, not even like I saw they were clapping for Tinubu today. Just don't clap. Just get up and walk out. Things like that. It works. I remember I was in a group. The previous caller was a Robo. I was in a Robo group or some WhatsApp group, right? And then they had Ibori and all these other people there, that same group. And I remember they were just talking about something, and then I raised it. I said, I'm not comfortable being in this group with a known convicted criminal that you guys are giving reference to. They shouted me down, whatever. I started going. We started exchanging words. They kicked me out of the group and blocked me. But I don't mind, because that's what we need to be doing in every forum. Everybody needs to speak up to your teachers, professors, guardians, even your parents.
Yeah, just speak out. Even if you are not the type that loves drama, at least speak out. No violence or nothing. Just speak out. And if we can begin to do this wherever we come across them as a form of protest, really, I think it's going to work.
Then there's nowhere to hide. But I won't keep your time. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks a lot, Ego. Thank you very much as well for, I think I'm lucky tonight. I've got, first-time callers who have decided to chip in tonight. Tonight is not one of those kind of hot blazing nights that we've had in the last few days. So it's more relaxed, and I'm happy that a lot of you feel comfortable enough to call in, at least for the first time. So thank you, right? If you are still watching this broadcast, I want to please implore you to please like the broadcast if you haven't already, right? Here is another caller. Hello there.
How are
you?
Oh, I'm very good, Marigo. Marigo, I'm going to be very, very brief. I haven't called in a while.
You haven't?
Because I've been very busy. Yeah.
Right. I'm glad you're kind of less busy tonight or afternoon over there. So good to have you. Please.
So, Marigo, first of all, you see the obedience. We have to be very, very conscious of the way we speak about the obedience. And I'm saying this because of the last caller. In fact, that was what prompted me to call. Because sometimes your show is better to listen. I've been listening a lot because you have a lot to say, a lot to dish out. But I called today because I'm going to give you a very good instance. When Showore started his revolutionary movement in Nigeria, people called him all sorts of names. And I can tell you one thing today, that Nigerians, some of them don't have the mind you can play with. And when revolution is going to come into a country like Nigeria, it's going to take different dimensions. What the obedience have done is a dimension to the revolution. And we cannot overrule the steps the giant strides a lot of them have taken. I tell you, you have no idea what goes into their, the resources they put together to accomplish what they've done today.
I respect them all. Like, they are so good and very resourceful, Baba. Very, very resourceful.
Even though we all know where this game is going to end. It's a game, Mayego, and I say it because it will only take a foolish person not to know what's going to happen. I've lived in that country, and I understand the way it works. You see those judges? They all have skeleton in their cupboard as well.
They do.
They are all going to part. There's no judgment anyway, Mayego. What they are going to deliver is no judgment. They are only going to cook up all sorts. And at the end of the day, they are going to come out and give us what they feel is befitting for Nigeria. However, I tell you, like a caller, I think about 2 callers I was listening before I called. A caller said that it will not take time before Nigeria will break up. Yeah, the obedience, let them continue to do what they are doing. Mayego, nobody discourage anybody. Please and please.
That's what I do on this program, right? I said, listen, if I see APC, PDP, enablers, I see people who are self-destroying themselves, thinking they are doing politics. But when I see revolution now, when I see the obedience, when I see the Yoruba Nation campaigners, when I see the Biafrans, the IPOB, and everybody who has publicly come out and take a stand against this disorganized, disjointed contraption called Nigeria, then even if you disagree with yourselves, there is no point in tearing yourselves apart, because your disagreement, your difference is all about approach. I say, okay, this is the best way to go to do it. That one said this is the best way to do it. You say this is the best way to do it, but there's something you want to do to change, which is you want to change your circumstances in this current Nigeria. So if you pay attention very well, we all have the same thing in common, right? So we can use this piece to understand our differences, team together, as they are saying, if you can't beat them, you join them. On Mayegun's Diary Political, we say, if you can't beat them, go and call others. Join hands and beat them.
Let's beat them. Thank you.
So
I know.
we fight ourselves on the same platform then. Go on, but I'm sorry. Please.
Yeah, I'm just going to drop this last one so that I can give other callers opportunity to speak. Yes. I've read about the French Revolution, and I can say to you, the French Revolution took different facets. So if you're looking at revolution, it should not be a one-way thing.
No.
Whoever has a plan for Nigeria should understand this. Whoever is talking about anything happening in Nigeria today should always think about this. This revolution will take different dimension. It's taking a dimension in Mali, we've seen it in Niger. In Nigeria, it might take another dimension. Trust me, it might take another revolution. Mayego, lastly, you're doing a good job. I forgot to tell you, my name is Prince. I haven't called in a while.
You haven't.
I wish you the best, and I tell you, you are doing a marvelous job, Mayego. You have no idea. You've opened the eyes of some of my cousins back home in Nigeria.
Yep.
Because I tell some of them, go and watch that program. Because when they watch your program and they come back to me, trust me, my ego, a lot of them, their ideology have changed. I wish you all the best, my ego. Take
you
care.
too. Thanks a lot so much once again. And it's good to hear from you again. All right. Stay safe, Baba.
Yeah.
And take it easy.
All right, cheers.
So I have another caller who is likely going to be my last caller. Like I said before, like we're just going to do an hour. Okay. Hello there.
Hello, Mayegun. How are you?
Sir, I'm very well. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Thank you very much. I'm good. My name is Victor Sarogiagbon. I'm actually calling from Germany, Frankfurt, Germany.
I'm from Frankfurt, Germany. I'll remember that.
Yeah.
Please, Victor.
Oh, Mayegun, I've been your fan. I've been watching you since 2015. It's actually my first time calling today.
Again, thank you.
Yeah. I'm really pleased being able to reach you. The reason I decided to call in is the fact that I was listening to a guy that was that called in and was like, being a bit insulting to the obedience.
I know.
Well, unfortunately, I will say, that guy is making a terrible mistake by believing that Obi is not going to get his mandate. Well, he might think we're probably living
direct as well. So yeah, go for it.
Well, he might be thinking that the obedience are probably living in illusion by wanting to claim the mandate back. You see, one thing I believe is that anything that is worth doing is worth doing well.
Right.
The only reason why I decided to, we actually started the movement here in Europe. I don't know if you do it by a guy called Lampton O'Reilly.
I think I do. Remember how it all began. I mean, please.
Right.
Go on.
He's based in London. This guy actually spoke to me, and I decided to mobilize friends from here, and then we decided to start talking to our people in Benin. I'm from Benin, Edo State. So that was how the whole situation gained momentum and started spreading all over Nigeria. What I'm trying to say in a nutshell is that we should not give up, because if we believe that Nigeria is in a mess and we're trying to make a difference, we want to change the situation, we must believe in ourselves. Because these guys that are messing up Nigeria today, they were in their 20s. I was listening to Showore. I used to be Showore's fan. I still believe very much in his. I still believe very much in his ideology today. But the fact that
events have overtaken that, and everybody seems to be on the move.
No, what happened is that Obi's movement overpowered him, and I actually encouraged him. I wrote to him at the time. I said he should try and support Obi in order to, build a formidable force. Exactly, but he refuses, which was a very big mistake. But anyway, that is gone now. We are just waiting. We are waiting for
you actually wanted to pick something he said about the young people. Like, these guys were in their 20s back then when they were talking with the leadership of the country. But look at them today in their 80s. And look at
Thanks for reminding me. He said something about, there are certain things that, he touched on that really impresses me about the statement that he made. Right. Like Chief Obafemi Awolowo, his policy then enables me to go to the secondary school free of charge.
That's right.
We had Ambrose Ali in Edo State, then Bende State, which tends to favor each and every one of us. And these guys in power today are all beneficiaries of these policies. They came and then they hijacked power, and then they blocked the way for the upcoming generations to succeed.
I know.
And they think it's going to be business as usual. They think they will,
we are impatient. They say we have no respect. They say we are rude. This is the generation that took everything away from us. So they didn't leave anything. Exactly. But they said we have no respect.
Terrible. It's terrible. I've been living abroad now for the past 30-something years.
See?
I went to the UK before I moved to Germany.
Bless you,
You know, my children are grown up now. The first time they went home, you know, I was so embarrassed with, you know, introducing them to the system there. My brother, it's so unfortunate, you know.
I mean, the culture shock. What about the culture shock? When they go to Nigeria, they're like, oh my, and you have to start explaining to them and say, listen, no, it's normal, it's normal. No, it's okay. Don't worry, it's all right. Like, man.
It's terrible. So we thought Obi coming into the picture will actually help us to, you know, turn things around.
He got a lot of people interested in Nigeria. I have to give that to him. He got a lot of young people, a lot of people in diaspora, a lot of people interested in Nigeria, that people are beginning to like, if at a point people started reading constitution, all because of 2023 election. I was like, you guys really believe this is going to happen? They say, yeah. Well, you saw me, Abi. Mayegun, you will see. Watch out. And it happened. It got people interested again. People registered to register to vote. I have never seen that kind of optimism before. We saw it.
I went home purposely because of this election.
People travel back to Nigeria. Exactly.
Believe me, my brother. Believe me. In Benin, you will see queue. You will see everybody voting for Peter Obi. The rest party was just like non-existent. I mean, I think they were not in existence.
We saw it.
Right. The trouble is that, you know, this power that this power game that they are playing in Nigeria, if the youth refuses to rise up against these people, starting from that so-called Sokoto where they go and cook up the whole thing, the whole politics that they are cooking up over the caliphate or whatever, you know, if they don't start with these people, Nigeria is never going to be in shape. The whole of these people must go for Nigeria to become a better place to, for each and every one of us.
Something must happen.
Exactly. I want to go back home. I've been abroad for almost 40 years now. I can't go back home because of the useless policy that they put in place there.
Baba, and I keep saying it to a lot of people. I said, I have been abroad for 11 years. Next year is going to be 12 years. I have, look at yourself, 30 years. At a point, you're going to be like, you know what? I've had enough of all this whole thing. I want to settle down in somewhere, in social place in Nigeria. But these days, a lot of people are kind of having a second thought. I've had people who have changed their relocation back to Nigeria 4 times in the last 8 years. 4 times.
I agree with you.
Do you know what that does to people? Like,
my
generally?
Are crumbling.
But they don't know that, Baba. They don't.
Oh, my brother, it hurts. It hurts.
See, thank you
so much. We don't have
a
country. Thank you, brother. I really, really appreciate you. You're doing a great job, bro. Please keep it up.
Thanks so much, sir.
We are all behind you. I listen to your program every day. It's like medication for me.
Thanks so much. And thanks so much for the support as well. And send me word to the family, sir. So I am going to call it a night. I know I probably didn't give you the full time, but please, we will continue again tomorrow. But tomorrow, I'm bringing in about 3 guests. These guests are going to come on the billing of Yoruba Union. So we're going to raise some money tomorrow. I need to tell you ahead of time, and I'm going to need your help. Real support. So when we get here tomorrow, and with all my guests and every one of them, don't worry. We'll do our normal program, like first half. So instead of us taking calls after the program, we're just going to use that for the fundraiser. Please don't not show up. Anyway, thanks a lot to every one of you. Yomi Totu and the rest of, the member of the temple. Thank you for your time. All my new callers, right? Ego, Efe, and then Victor, all of you. Thank you so much. And then to those who have been like regular callers too, I have dropped my parts. And then if you joined us midway, I would say you should watch this from the beginning. Or if you have been with me all night, just like the broadcast before you go, okay? I will see you again. Until then, stay safe, and pray more. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀. dòdòdò.
Máyégún Diary náà ibi number one.
Máyégún ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Máyégún Diary náà ibi number one.
Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube.
Máyégún Diary náà ibi number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Máyégún já wa sí.
Máyégún Diary náà ibi number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Máyégún Diary náà ibi number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Máyégún máa wí.
Máyégún Diary náà ibi number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Máyégún Diary náà ibi number one.
Máyégún Diary Diary Politico.
Máyégún Diary náà ibi number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Máyégún.
Máyégún Diary náà ibi number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Máyégún Diary náà ibi number one.
Àní Máyégún làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Máyégún Diary náà ibi number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lérí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀gọ̀lọ́mọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà àìsíwọ́lú ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù máyé ègún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì máyé ègún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
máyé ègún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì máyé ègún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.